Okay, so let's go ahead and look at how to solve this problem of cleaning up our environment. In order to do that, there's two ways you could do this. One is the traditional way where you can create a hit marker script and you could apply that to the hit marker, and then in the void start, you could simply destroy it within 60 seconds or 1 second, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. You can go ahead and create a new C# script. We'll call it hit marker cleanup. You can drag it onto the hit marker game object once it compiles. You can drag it onto the hit marker, and you can see here we now have a hit marker component here. And what we can do here is simply just add in a little bit of code that says destroy this.gameObject, and then we can say 1 second. Save that. Go ahead and test it out. I'm going to go ahead and collapse the level here so we can see. And you'll see here we have, check it out. Within 1 second, they're all gone. Perfectly fine. And if you did this, congratulations. That was an awesome way to do it. So here's how we can actually do this without a new script. I'm going to go ahead and remove that script. Click on the hit marker. Remove that. Remove component. Reapply the prefab. Get it out of there. And what I could have done is I can actually destroy it from within the player script when I create it. And the way I can do that, let me go ahead and reload this solution here. The way I can do that is I instantiate it. How can I get a reference to the game object that I just instantiated? Well, I can actually go ahead and create the object like this. I can say game object, we'll call it hit marker, equals the object that I'm instantiating. And the object that you instantiate will get assigned to this variable hit marker, which is a game object. If I save this, you're going to notice that we're going to get an error in Unity. And the reason we're getting an error here is because when you're creating game objects like this using the instantiate method, you have to typecast it. And it's actually not giving me an error, which is interesting. It's possible that as of 5.6 or Unity 2017-1, they changed this. Very interesting. Okay, interesting. You actually used to have to cast type this as a game object. It used to make you be very explicit. So I would have to say game object hit marker equals instantiate, and then you would say here as a game object. So as game object, and this is called typecasting. Now, apparently I didn't have to do that for whatever reason, but it's still best practice to typecast it. So this is called casting. It's basically I'm explicitly saying that this game object that I'm instantiating is going to be instantiated as a game object, and it's going to be assigned to this game object variable. Another alternative, instead of writing as game object for typecasting, is you can go ahead and type in here, right before the instantiate, in parentheses, you can cast it as a game object. Typecasting, you'll oftentimes see it in C# errors. It might say, are you forgetting a cast? And basically that means that you just have to create a parenthesis with the game object or as keyword and use the type it is. Now, a little off topic there, but essentially what we want to do is we do want to cast this as a game object. So here we say as game object. And then basically what I can do now is I have an access reference to that game object. So what can I do? I can say here, destroy. What game object do I want to destroy? Hit marker. And we're going to go ahead and say 1 second. I can now keep the code nice and neat in here. Save my script. Let's go ahead and rerun Unity. And you'll notice that I have the exact same effect and I didn't have to create a new script. Works just as good. Alright guys, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.